Good morning and welcome to Inside Texoma. I'm News Channel 6, Melissa Kakarika, and today I'm joined by our News Channel 6 sales manager, Chris Cunningham, because we are getting excited for Halloween, right?
That's right.
Just around the corner. That means the annual Safekids Halloween is coming up. Let's talk a little bit about Safekids. Going on for a couple years now, right?
A couple 21. So we've been at this a long time. We love taking care of the children and the community, offering that safe environment for kids to be in. It's a great thing for the station to be a part of in the community.
So 21 years. So how did it get started all that time ago?
You know, I have no idea. Someone just came up with the idea and they just started doing it. I guess somebody had the thought of just making a safe environment, and it's moved from one location to another, and now we're at the Ag Barn. Mm-hmm. It's just outgrown every location we've been in.
Yeah, it's just become a tradition basically for the station.
Absolutely. Thousands of people show up to that event, and we get them right through in about an hour.
Yeah, now last year a couple thousand came, right?
Oh yeah, I think typically we have 3,000 or more come through.
And let's talk a little bit about the J.S. Bridwell Ag Center, because that's been our location this year, and like you said, last year, and I think maybe even the year before that. Is that right?
That's right. So this will be our third year there.
So why did we kind of move over there?
Well, once again, we outgrew the previous location, and actually the previous location had closed down. But this made for a much larger avenue, a lot better parking, a safer environment for the kids, and we can actually fit more vendors in there. We were kind of capped at I think 32 or something like that, and I think our count right now is we have 40 vendors or 40 people coming in to set up booths.
Okay.
So we can handle a lot more. Absolutely.
Now, why does News Channel 6 do this?
Well, once again, we're offering a safe environment for kids to be in. We're always looking out for the community and for the best interest of the Wichita Falls area and the Texoma area. So this is one great opportunity that we have as a station to bring a safe environment for kids to be in. So, you know, typically there are sheriff's deputies there, there are city officers there, Crime Stoppers, and then, of course, the military partners with us and helps out with crowd control in the parking lot and on the inside as well. So it's really many different entities coming together to provide the safe environment.
Yeah, I feel like everybody at News Channel 6 really enjoys it too, really kind of enjoys getting out there and being a part of the community on Halloween, right?
Absolutely. I mean, yourself, you know, you come out there and it's a blast. You know, we have all of our different talent that's out there. People will dress up. You know, you as a personality, as a talent here at the station, you know, you can't dress up for Halloween and get on the air, you know,
That's
but this
true.
gives you an opportunity to get out there and kind of enjoy yourself and have fun with the kiddos.
Yeah, I think I was a cat last year and I was a witch the year before that. So you really can be almost anything. It's Halloween. You can kind of just have a good time.
That's right. That's right. And, you know, unfortunately for me, I'm out there setting up all day long and I really can't leave. So I'm kind of just me when I'm there.
Now, this is taking place Halloween night, right?
Yep, Halloween night this coming Saturday. And so we'll open up at 5:30, and that'll be for special needs children, and then at 6 o'clock for the general public.
Okay, and it goes till about 8:30, something like that?
That's right, exactly right.
Okay, people just kind of come in, park, and come right in. What do they need to know?
Need to know is there will be a line outside. If you get there early, there will be two lines. There'll be two staging lines that'll go outside. One, once again, for the special needs side, and they'll get kind of the first 30 minutes. We do move the line along if there's nobody in that line 15 minutes in or something. Then we'll move the general public, start moving them through the line. But we may pause that as the special needs come through. So we try to get them, you know, the first priority.
And this is completely free for the community.
Absolutely, it doesn't cost anything. You know, we partner with area vendors to, you know, vetted, I guess you can say, vendors. We bring them out, make sure that everything that they bring to the table is going to be safe. And so there are people in the community, mostly businesses and nonprofits, and like I said, some of the law entities, you know, law enforcement entities, stuff like that, that'll be a part of Safekids. And I mean, it's just a really, really great environment. And like I said, we've got about 40 vendors right now, and people are still calling every day to be a part of it.
Good. And now, so just your costume, any guidelines for the costumes they might need to know about?
Nope, not really. Just come as well, I mean, we want to make sure it's, you know, family appropriate. I don't want to say come how you are, but, you know, we do want to make sure it's family appropriate. And, you know, it doesn't matter to me if they've got blood all over their face and guts and gore, but, you know, we probably just want to stay away from things like, you know, anybody that looks like a prostitute or something like that.
But I think we'll be okay. I think a lot of people are usually pretty good about their costumes.
Yeah.
We've never had any problems because it's Safekids Halloween. It's always safe.
That's right.
Well, we're going to talk a whole lot more about Safekids Halloween and what changes maybe might be going on this year, anything like that, when we come back to Inside Texoma. Welcome back to Inside Texoma. I hope you're ready for Halloween because me and Chris Cunningham, our News Channel 6 sales manager, are getting ready for the News Channel 6 Safekids Halloween, which you may have been to before, maybe you haven't. If you haven't or if you have, let's talk about this year. I know it's been going on a long time. Any changes this year?
We're going to make one change. It became evident to me last year as I was walking outside and checking crowd control and everything. We're going to have a little bit more out there. The area is a little darker anyways, but we had flashlights, and I think we had 6 people out there. Well, we'll have more than that out there handling crowd control. And it's not so much the crowd gets out of hand, it's the traffic that comes in and out. And it's, like I said, it's a little dark, so they will be making traffic go certain directions and making sure everybody's safe. Or they were safe last year, but even more safe this year.
Yeah.
So
now,
that's one change.
Oh, there's more than one change.
Yes. Second change that we're going to make is we're actually going to do a video screen out there of some sort. So we're going to be showing some of the trailers of some of the things, maybe Halloween, holiday related, like you might see a trailer with some of our CW Texoma shows, like The Arrow, Flash, Supernatural, and then may see iZombie from CBS that's going to be playing out there, and probably a little message from our station here and there.
Okay, so kind of picking some of the Halloween shows there, iZombie, Supernatural, things that might get you in the mood. Even The Flash, people are probably going to dress up as The Flash, so.
I hope so. I hope so.
Kind of all fits into the theme. Now, I know you mentioned before there's kind of 2 lines. Let's go over how it works for people when they get there. Okay, there's the crowd control outside, like you said, this year, and then they get in one of the lines.
They get in one of the lines, so they'll ask which line that they need to be a part of. Generally speaking, the general public line is going to be a lot longer than the special needs line, and we'll stand up. We'll have people standing up in the front directing where people need to go at that point in time, so they can just tell us what line they need to be in. We'll point them in the right direction. But generally speaking, when we start off, there is a pretty lengthy line because people want to get in there, and I guess they feel like they're going to get the best selection of candy right off the bat.
That is true. I couldn't believe how many people were there last year. Just the line never ended. So
yeah, no, it didn't. It just kept filling and kept filling and kept filling. And the time that it started getting close to the door, I'd step outside about 15 or 20 minutes later, and it'd be another 100 people in line. So once again, when we start off the evening, 5:30ish is when we're going to open the doors. It'll still be a little light outside, so everybody will be able to see, and it'll be very comfortable. When you come inside, it'll be climate controlled. It'll be nice, and the way we generally have it is there will be a perimeter for people to walk around as they go through the whole ag barn, and they'll get an opportunity to stop by every vendor's tables to see what they have decorated and to also receive a trick or a treat.
Now the vendors kind of decorate themselves, right?
Oh, absolutely. So, like I said earlier, we had 40 vendors, and each one of those are responsible for decorating a table-sized area, and the vendors are allowed to have 2 or 3 tables apiece to either take up 10 feet of a decorated area up to 30 feet of a decorated area. So some of these people go really all out.
I was going to say, I remember last year I saw so many, orange lights and big, like, inflatable pumpkins, just like people really getting into the Halloween spirit.
Absolutely, and people will dress up. I was actually impressed with MSU students that came out there from some of the sororities and fraternities. They really went all out. There was this one that they dressed up like Roman gods, and it was it was just really funny. The kids absolutely just loved it.
Now, I know you said there's going to be a perimeter. Is it going to be similar to last year, kind of how it was on the outside, the flow of it? Is that how it's going to work again this year?
Yeah, we feel like it's a dual-purposed deal. It keeps one singular line going through it, so there's no confusion of looking on booths on the left and booths on the right. Of course, there'll be decorations on the left as they're walking through, but all the vendors will be on the right-hand side as they're going through. And I remember seeing another vendor as well when people were walking up. You have those things that are down low that'll jump out at you, and they're mechanical. And I remember seeing some of the scaredest people I've ever seen in my life just jump from that.
So you definitely get your tricks and treats out there.
That's right.
1 year prior when I was here, we had little games, but we didn't do them last year. Are we kind of staying away from those again this year?
Yeah, the games were a great idea. I think the person who came up with those at the station really intended for them to take off and do really well. Problem is, it created a bottleneck, and the people who were waiting outside really waited and really waited and really waited. So who knows in Texoma what the weather's going to be like in just a few days from now. So I'm hoping the weather's going to participate with us, but we did want to stop the games because once again it did create a pretty big bottleneck, and It does take a long time to go through that line anyways, 45 minutes to an hour. And if you've got people stopping and playing games and everybody's just standing there waiting for the next move to happen, it just kind of really slows things down and not everybody can go through.
Okay, well, you mentioned about 40 vendors, so they're all businesses. Who might we be seeing out there? MSU again, or?
Oh yeah, you'll see some people from MSU out there. You'll see some of our wireless companies, which is pretty cool. They like to talk about technology and bring stuff, but they're out because they all want to be involved in the community, and they really appreciate the fact that we actually put something together where kids can be safe and have an environment to go to that really there's no worries at all. Candy's going to be safe. Everything that's going to be given out is going to be safe. And you were asking the type of vendors that we have. Several nonprofits, and these nonprofits, in this day in this economy that we live in, they're kind of struggling, but yet they will still set aside the funds to come out to this event to buy all that candy, because we got 3,000 people coming through. That's thousands and thousands and thousands of pieces of candy that they have to come up with money for. And so one of the biggest additions this year as far as the vendors concerned is we have the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile. So it's going to be there, and I think they're going to be handing out whistles, and I hope they put that at the end of the line.
Yeah, I think people are going to be excited for that. People are just going to go to that. Maybe skip the candy.
Maybe so.
Maybe, but there's plenty of candy for everybody, right? They are told they have to bring so many thousand pieces of candy.
We never run out. Maybe a couple of vendors run out because they just are new for the first time. I had no idea, even though we may tell them make sure you bring 6, 7, 8,000 pieces of candy, so that you're not giving just one to every person, that you give 2 to 3 to every person that comes through. So we never run out of candy as far as the whole thing is concerned. And we plan it. Like I said, 21 years. We plan it right. Yeah,
we've been doing a good job. Now we're in the final countdown. You must be pretty busy, right?
Actually, most of the work has been done.
Okay, good.
So we have a lady here that has done a large part of the work, and that's Sophia, that works in the front office there, and she has done a huge amount of work with the vendors, and she's done an exceptional job. And so it's not only her, but there's a whole team that comes together. She just handled all the vendors part, but as the team pulls together and we have this event, it's everybody pulls together at the last minute, everybody decorates at the last minute, all the vendors show up at the last minute, and everything's done on Saturday. So no prep on Friday night, it's all done Saturday all day long.
So your Halloween is booked.
Mine is for sure.
Yeah, I think most people on News Channel 6 have their Halloween booked with Safekids. Now let's get the times out there again. You said it opens at 5:30, 6 o'clock is kind of when the main line opens, right?
That's right. Like I said, if the line dies down a little bit, the first line, then we'll start the general public line as soon as possible. We're not going to make them stand and wait until 6 o'clock for that line to open. But people are just excited. I love seeing all the little kids in their outfits, and there are several different events to do around Halloween. But I think the more and more we get into the future, more people are finding out that they want a safer environment for kids to be a part of, and we're seeing the benefits of that as this event keeps growing from one year to another.
And we always want you to come out and trick or treat with us. Any last chances for vendors? Is it closed off, or if there's a vendor out there that wants to come, is there still time?
We might have a couple of spaces left. I'd have to get back with Sophia on that one, but we're pretty tied in there right now. So it looks full. It appears like we're going to have all the tables out. But I'd still encourage any vendor that wanted to call, go ahead and give us a call over here at the station at 322-6957.
All right, well, make sure you head on down to the J.S. Bridwell Ag Center Halloween night and get there early. I remember last year around 8:30 when we were winding up, people were still coming, and it was pretty crazy. So we definitely want people to get there early.
Absolutely.
Well, coming up, we're going to talk to some News Channel 6 members about their favorite memories of Safekids Halloween. As you mentioned, it's been going on 21 years, so we've seen some pretty good stuff. You're going to hear more after the break. Welcome back to Inside Texoma. I'm Melissa Kakarika once again, and we are talking about Safekids Halloween, so I brought in one of the veterans, Chris Horgan.
I'm always a veteran.
You're always a veteran, but you have been here for most of the Safekids, right?
Yeah, I think I've been here for all of them. Yeah, if we're in our 20-something year, early 20 years on that, I've been here 25 years, so I remember when we didn't do it, and I remember the very first. And I mean, it has grown exponentially. The new location has made a huge difference as far as how many people we can get inside. That's the key. We used to do it at a hotel, what is now the Grand Hotel, as that lower floor. We just went around that floor. Well, it really limited how many people we could have in the hotel at one time. So we had a long line outside. So the best thing about the J.S. Bridwell Ag Center, where we do it now, is that there's not as many people outside because we can fit so many more people inside the building at one time. So that line moves pretty quick. So if you go out there on Saturday or on Halloween night, Saturday night, don't be afraid if the line's out there a little bit, because it's going to move pretty quickly, and it does.
Now, you said you were here for the first one, so what was that like? I'm interested to know.
It was interesting because I think when we put it all together, they weren't really sure what was going to happen. I mean, they did it big. They didn't just go and say, we'll just have a few. They filled that bottom floor with great businesses and great vendors that came in and gave out candy and did kind of spooky houses and decorated their rooms, and it was a great time. And we had thousands of kids come out for that very first one, and it's never, ever let off. A lot of times when you do an event, if you do it for long enough, you see, kind of a rise and a fall. We've been steady with thousands of kids, over 2,000 kids every single year that we do it. So we knew it was a great idea to start with. We just needed to execute it and make it not have a bunch of hiccups and speed bumps, which of course it did because it was year one. But as it went on, we kind of smoothed the road out a little bit and got better and better and better at it.
I bet it's just really cool to see it now as we go into the 21st year, I believe we said.
I cannot imagine I can't imagine not being here for that. I mean, the first year at the J.S. Bridwell Ag Center, we had a lot of stuff going on. We had games and we had all these things for kids to do, and it was a little bit too much, to be honest with you. There was too much to do.
Congestion.
So now they kind of scaled it down just a little bit for the building, and it's more of a flow where you come in, you get your candy, you make your way around, you see everybody, you see all the costumes, and then you're out of there, which is good because then you can move on to the next thing you want to do or the next haunted house or get the kids home and get them out of those costumes and get them in bed.
So any favorite memories over all those years?
Oh my gosh, we had I think I always tell this story on here because it's so awesome. We had a couple kids in the same family, brothers in the family, that loved watching Channel 6, which of course we loved. So they would come every year, and one of them was a reporter and the other one was a cameraman, and they had a box, and the reporter was like inside the TV talking to you, and the cameraman was there shooting it. It was the cutest thing ever. They did it for like 2 or 3 years, and I think they probably outgrew the box that they made the TV. But that was one of my absolute favorites. I just adored that one. It was so cute. And every year we'd take pictures with them, and it was the blast. But I do love the photos. I mean, a lot of people want to take selfies. A lot of people, now that we have camera phones everywhere, a lot of people want to, get your picture, come take a picture with me and my kid. And so we really enjoy doing that too. But those two kids with their little microphone, they had a mic flag, a little Channel 6 mic flag and everything, was so cute. That was probably my favorite of all time out of the 20 years.
Yeah, I feel like you always get to see the most popular costumes of the year
Sure.
Some years you got Ninja Turtles, some years you got princesses,
Yeah.
Star Wars, I mean all the popular ones.
Avengers comes out, you get more superheroes. Iron Man was huge. When Iron Man and Iron Man 2 came out, a lot of kids were Iron Man. So I mean, yeah, we see the gamut. We see every kind of costume you could possibly have because again, there's thousands of children that are coming through, and adults dress up too, and that's kind of fun as well.
Yeah, well this will be my third one. And I think one of my favorite memories was last year. I believe it was you had on a mask that was pretty scary,
Yeah.
and a kind of a scarecrow farmer's costume. And the first thing when you walked into Safekids Halloween, you were there just creeping all the kids out.
It was great. We're going to try and do that again this year. That's my goal, is to creep more kids out this year. You don't know it's me. That's what I really enjoy. So I can kind of just be the character. I don't have to worry about representing myself. See, now everybody knows what I'm going to be. So it's but the coolest thing about it, I love that costume, is it's got these long skeleton fingers that are like this long, and you put them on, and I'll stand there motionless, and then I'll catch somebody looking at me, and I'll do this to them, and it's this great big finger calling you over, and they're like, wait a minute, that thing's real. I love that. That's a lot of fun. I'm hoping I can find that role again this year and find a spot where I'll look like I'm not alive, and then I'll come alive.
Yeah, that was so creepy and so cool, and everyone was talking about it. It's just like, really, that's Chris? So that was a great one. Props to you on that.
Yeah, so you won't see me there, but you will.
But you will.
Oh yeah.
Well, let's talk a little bit about why News Channel 6 does
Sure.
this. I mean, obviously, you've been a part of it, so you know why we're doing it.
Sure. A couple decades ago, we started a campaign called Safekids, and we did a bunch of events. Safekids Halloween was one of them. We did a Safekids Safari, where children came to the station. We had our field was set up with all kinds of games and booths, and we had vendors come, and the police department was here, and the fire department was here, and the helicopter, with the air evac people were here, and it was a blast. And so we had all these little different events, and Safekids Halloween was easily the most successful, and it was easily the one that we all loved so much that we wanted to continue doing it. So Safekids was something that started years and years and years ago, that was expanded, and then we kind of have pared it down to something that we know everybody enjoys. And the goal really is to give your children a safe place to come and trick or treat and know that they're not getting anything foul. They're not going to be, exposed to anybody's house that we're not too sure about or anything else like that. So everybody that comes through has been vetted. We know what they're doing. They're all respectable businesses, and it's a great thing. So I think that's why that survived. But it all started with our big Safe Kids campaign, which we had a lot of different events that went on throughout the year for that, and it really taught a lot of kids, hopefully, some safety and some great stuff.
Yeah, well, let's talk a little bit about safety. I imagine you get a lot of feedback from parents after all these years. What do you hear from parents?
Well, they're thrilled to death that we do it because, again, it is a safe place to take their children. They trust us. They trust the businesses that are there, and it's a lot of fun. It's a well-lit, area. It's not super scary. There's nobody with a chainsaw coming around the corner at you. Not really, but the haunted houses always have the chainsaw guy. I think that's the key. I mean, it's just the fact that we sell the safety aspect of it because to us, that's the most important thing. I mean, the fun comes with it, the candy comes with it, but the safety is really the key in this because you're at a safe place, you're at the Jasper Ag Center, you're around a bunch of safe people that are going to take care of you if anything happens, and we're watching, and there are a lot of people watching to make sure that everyone does stay safe and nothing crazy is going on, and there's no dark corners where anything can happen. It's lit well. It's a smart place to take your kids for Halloween if you want to make sure they're safe.
Yeah, anything you'd like to see us do in the future, something we haven't done yet?
I think we need a much larger building and to make it even bigger. I would love to see that. Because we can only get so many kids through that line from 6 to 8:30 or 6 to 9 o'clock. And so I'd love to see us find an even better venue that's even bigger so we can expand it even more. And maybe that comes in the next 4 or 5 years. I mean, I think the Jasper Ag Center right now is perfect for it. And we do get a lot of kids through, but I think we could get more if we could make it just a little bit bigger.
Yeah, well, we are expecting thousands as always, so anything you want to say to people to get them out?
Come on out. Come early, get in line, get your candy, bring a big bag. You're going to need it. And it is an absolute blast, and don't let the scarecrow-looking guy scare you.
That's very true.
He's really, really a nice person.
He is. See, he just talked to you all about Safe Kids Halloween and how safe it was.
Exactly.
Well, again, it is Halloween night, Jasper Ag Center. Special needs kids get in at 5:30. Doors open at 6. It wraps up somewhere in the 8:30 area.
Yeah, they'll cut the line off at some point.
Yeah.
They'll just say, no more line. This is all we're going to be able to get through for the night. And that's why I'm saying get there early and make sure you're in line and ready to go.
Yeah, well, thanks, Chris.
You bet.
Sharing your memories with us. We hope to see you at Safe Kids Halloween. Thanks for tuning in to Inside Texoma.